What is the most porn-like scenario moment you've experienced? I went onto a cruise back a few years ago. I went to the back pool to lounge and get a tan. I was really looking at butts. Sue me, I was young. I lied down and about 5 minutes later a mid-30s blonde lady came over and sat her books down beside me. Didn't think much of it and kept tanning. A few minutes later she struck up a conversation about what she was reading and we got into the topic of her kid, who was only a couple years younger than me. We talked for about an hour and really got into some heavy stuff, until she got onto the topic of shopping and her addiction to buying glasses, to which she invited me back to her room to check them out. I declined as I was late for my lunch with my mother, and she had texted me. I realized about 4 months after that she was hitting on me. Closest thing I can think of to a porn-like scenario. A girl told me I could do whatever I wanted once. That was pretty cool. Was seeing this hot redhead for a few weeks. We went to a concert, outdoors. It started to rain so we ran back to my car and went back to her place. We strip down and throw our clothes in the dryer and decide to take a shower. Tub is a clawfoot. I pick her up and duck her against the wall and move the tub off the wall. Afterwards we have towels wrapped around us, small talking in her bedroom, and the tension sexually is still there, so I pull her onto the bed and we go another round. Clothes eventually dry so we go out and meet a group of her friends for drinks. Come back that night and she goes down on me and I return the favor, and then round 3. Man, she was fun. She got weird though. Ghosted me. Moved away. Came back like 6 months later and wanted to meet up like nothing ever occurred. I passed. I was on a flight from Florida to Ohio one night and a woman across the aisle from me in the last row of a Delta flight flashed me. Then she yelled over the engine whine, "Hey, you didn't tell me how you liked my tits." Without missing a beat I said I forget what they look like. She flashed me again and then we sat next to each other chatting the rest of the flight. Chatting. Walking into a convenience store and a great looking lady and her equally hot friend asked me back to their house for a 3-way. I had been married for about 3 months and my wife was sitting in the car waiting for me. She said, "What did those girls want?" I said, "Directions." Directions to this dong. Once I hung around after an art class at high school to finish something I was working on. When everyone was out of the room, the teacher sort of slunk up to my desk and was like, "Yes, very nice." 1,000 thoughts went through my head in one moment until it became clear she was referring to the sculpture I was making. 2xGFS initiating a threesome with me at my 21st party. Michael? No. But please extend him my congratulations. When I did pest control, I showed up at a house in the rich part of town to do my book guy thing. Turns out, the college-age daughter of the homeowners was having spring break with all of her volleyball teammates that particular day in the massive pool out back. Nothing happened, but a group of bikini-clad college volleyball players did answer the door, and I did get offered a beer. So there's that. This is the most disappointing story I have ever read. This is basically porn for people who want to be depressed. The first time I got a BJ, the girl I was with swallowed and I thought it was amazing. The next time I got one with a different girl, she pulled my dong out of her mouth just as I was coming and I busted all over her face. It was even hotter seeing her face covered in my cum. I married her. My first ever one night stand was after a college party where we were both very drunk. Completely consensual. But when we woke up in the morning she didn't really remember it super well. She remembered that we had sex and all, but didn't fully remember the experience. Her roommate was up getting ready for class, and the girl I was with was like rushing her out of the room, which I found odd. Frankly, I thought I'd be the one getting rushed out. Her roommate leaves, and she gets on top of me. First time I've seen her naked in the light, and goes, "Let's do it again so I can remember how your dong feels inside me." Never had a girl say anything like that to me before, and honestly not since, I don't think. Got invited to a Tinder girl's place after no more than 10 minutes of chat. Arrived half expecting to get mugged. She opened up wearing a silky gown and lingerie under. Poured me a drink and just started to dance slowly and strip in front of me. One of the hottest moments in my life. Learned a few days later she works as an escort, but didn't make it any less hot. Banged her a few more times after that, too. It was super hot each time. No regrets. So you banged her for free on the first time? Banged her for free every time. I did ask about that. She said there's business. There's pleasure. Your pleasure. Worked with a girl whose car broke down. She lived near me so I offered her a ride home. When we got there she said thanks for the ride. I guess I owe you. So, may I, and pointed at my crotch. I said yes and she took my dong out and blew me. After that we would take our lunch breaks together and she would blow me in my car every day. No other kind of relationship except every now and then she would hit me up to smoke weed and duck. I miss her a lot. I work for a furniture delivery company and was told to go see what was wrong with this woman's furniture. My partner and I get there and the house has about 12 guys working on it from the outside. When we find a way inside I'm greeted by a really cute girl who I learn is from Brazil. She's a gorgeous woman with a cute accent who tries to explain the situation but her English is just okay. It's a sectional and turns out the previous guys didn't attach it. Takes me and my guy about 3 minutes to get the job done, all the while me and the Brazilian girl were being very friendly, borderline flirting with each other. I thought nothing of it because it's normal to be friendly when receiving a service. After we finish up I have her sign my paperwork and she says wait. She then grabs my hand and leads me to the basement door. She goes down the steps and I ask should I follow. She says yes. My partner looks at me. I look at him. Then he gives me a pat on the shoulder and says I'll be in the truck. I head downstairs thinking she must need something moved because I don't have great luck and this would have been the luckiest thing to happen to me in my adult life. When I get to the dimly lit room she's in there waiting. It's just a bed and a nightstand. Now all my doubt goes out the window. She's looking through the nightstand for what I presumed was a condom but turned around with two $20 bills and said tip. I was teaching a college course and a girl who had missed most of the course walked into my office. There must be something I can do to pass. Sorry, no. She left. Was on the NYC subway late at night and there was just me and this young couple in our car. After the train started moving again, the dude took his pants off and his girl started giving him a BJ. Was trying to look away, but every now and then I'd glance over and notice they would both be staring at me. The cashier at Subway reached over to pull the thread off my shirt. I told her I thought she was gonna grab my tit. I am a guy. She, if you let me touch yours, I'll let you touch mine. She blushed really hard and I laughed. But I'm faithful so I didn't chase it. I have worked construction a long time and this one goes back at least 12 years now. I had gotten off work early because it was summer and we did a roof rather quickly and started early that day. I returned home and my then girlfriend was sleeping, or so I thought. I dropped my pants and tool belt and went to the shower. When I walked back from the shower she was waiting for me wearing nothing but my tool belt and a hard hat. It was both hilarious and sexy. In college, my friends and I were chilling, drinking, smoking some weed and playing Cards Against Humanity. There were 7 of us. 4 guys, 3 girls. The dude whose place we were at went to bed and said just lock the door on your way out. A little later we started talking about massages. I don't know who but someone suggested we do a massage train on the dude's sofa. We line up, I'm at the back, and alternate guy girl with everyone sitting in the person behind them's lap. We were all high or drunk except this one girl. Really thinking about it, that felt like we were about to burst into an orgy at any given point considering how much sexual tension there was in that room. All horny 20 years ducked up rubbing each other. In the end, someone ended up getting fingered while it was happening. When I was a cable internet tech, I had a couple middle-aged ladies leave the room and enter again in a bathrobe or their underwear. Never the type you'd actually want to bang, unfortunately. The girl I met on Tinder messaged me if I could help her out with her computer problem. I went to her apartment and there was no problem with her PC.